Dallas Cowboy game when they were backed up and they stayed with the game plan. They took no chances, and they put all the pressure on the Dallas Cowboy offense in that fourth quarter, and the Giant defense came through. So, but good clock management, really, I thought, by them, Chris. I have no complaints on what they did.
And I'll tell you, they almost, Phil, because it was right near me, I thought
unbelievable
that Moss had that ball. I thought he was going to catch it, and I thought he might score. Now, looking at the play here, I think they might have tackled him. That ball was inside the 20, and I'm telling you, he just got a finger in. Webster did at the end. That ball was in Moss's hands. He must have thrown that ball because you know what he did? He got out of the pocket. He went and he looped. He circled all the way right so he could buy some time out of the pocket. He vacated the pocket and went all the way right so that he could buy some time, and then he threw that ball across the field a long way, and Moss has that ball where the
fingertips.
The ball is on his fingertips when they tip it, and I thought, oh my God, Moss has got the ball and he's inside the 20-yard line.
Well, there was another example. Both Giant defensive backs were in position.
They were right there.
But when the ball is in the air,
that ball was well thrown too.
Randy Moss can keep running, and they're trying to defend Randy Moss and the ball. It makes you slow down, and the ball is about 1 yard short of being what you said.
The ball was a foot or two short. Yes, it was.
He doubled.
It wasn't out in front of him.
Up to throw it. I asked somebody how far he threw it, and somebody told me about 73 or 74 yards.
Think about it. He rolled right, and that ball's deep left, and it's across the field, and he was standing on, let's see, when they snapped the ball, he was on his own 16, so he steps up, and the ball's down around the 20, so he threw that ball probably across the field over 70 yards in the air.
Oh, no question.
And that ball is just about, it's almost a perfect throw.
It really is. And it was, when I saw it in the air, I knew
he hit him it hit the tip of his fingers.
I mean, he actually could have caught it. It's not impossible.
It was a little bit of a reminder of the very first game of the year when he stood there forever, and Randy Moss ran from the right side all the way to the left corner against the Jets and throws a touchdown.
So that ball right there dispels the myth of Brady having a bad shoulder
or
in this
a bad
game,
ankle,
right? Because that ball's over 70 yards in the air.
Oh, well, he's never had a bad shoulder.
Right.
They just do that.
No, but there was these rumors the last couple of days, Phil, that he was hurting, that he'd been hurting for weeks. But you know how those rumors start. But that ball's 70-something yards in the air right there.
Yeah, well, guys, everybody's always looking for reasons when Tom Brady doesn't have the perfect game.
Right.
And we know it's an imperfect league, and we saw it last night. That when no matter who you are and how great you've been, when you don't have time to make clear decisions or get in position to make the throws that you want, it's hard to be great. And I thought with the circumstances and what he did with them, I thought it was valiant by Tom Brady.
I thought it was a lot like Kurt Warner, fourth quarter against the Pats, the one the Patriots beat him big fourth quarter.
And we've watched this Pat defense get old, which is a part of this because the defense lost the game yesterday because they had a lead and 2 minutes left and couldn't stop the Giants.
Say this about that, Mike.
But let me make one point.
They had their chance.
Right.
They got themselves in position to make how many plays? They didn't make them. And the Pats teams that have won the 3 Super Bowls, think of all the close games they've won. They've come through every time there was an opportunity to make the play that won them the game. And last night they didn't.
Now, here's my point that I was making, though, is this. Then once since Charlie left, and I thought yesterday, and a caller brought up before, the young kids running the offense, and Brady and Belichick's not an offensive guy. We know that. Maybe Charlie Weiss was missed a little bit on, in that game plan yesterday or during that game yesterday.
Well, Charlie Weiss probably. It's hard. I'm not going to second guess that. I don't know. But you and I, we've talked about this on Sunday so many times. The NFL is an unbelievable league. It adapts on the fly. And as the year went on, the more information that was given about this Patriot spread offense, the better people were defending it. And the thing that's bothered me, and you and I have talked about for weeks, they have shown no ability to get the football down the field from the spread offense. Now, think of the throws they got down the field. They had Welker up the seam. He was underneath the center, and it was somewhat what I would call a normal formation. He threw some balls to Randy Moss with a double tight end, one wide receiver look. And I just thought if you did more of that, you would at least slow it down a little bit, that pass rush, and it wouldn't be 4 one-on-ones rushing against, rushing to get to Tom Brady. And I don't, I loved what they did against San Diego. You run the ball, you throw some play actions. The Giants, their game plan, I thought was terrific. They stayed with it. They had some bad moments, but they kept the pace of the game the way they wanted the whole time by running it. And even though they weren't getting great runs, they were getting 2 and 3. And so it just kept it going. And I always thought, even though the Patriots are winning most of the games 7-3, I thought they were always on edge. I thought the Giants, I just kept going. The Giants are, in my eyes, were outplaying them most of the day.
I agree with that. I thought
agree.
at halftime you could not have been that happy if you were a Patriots fan.
Pats only had 81 yards in the first half.
And, then and somewhere in the third quarter or late in the third quarter, I go, wow, if the Patriots hang on here, this is unbelievable because they were just hanging on.
Right.
And the play that broke it was that throw down the seam to Boss. That was the one that got the game moving in a different direction.
I agree with that.
I made that point earlier today because that is when the Giants hadn't done anything on offense forever. That play changed their whole game. That was the first play for them in the fourth quarter. It was a first down play, and that play changed the game, that deep seam.
It's very rarely, Phil, that you see an NCAA tournament run in the NFL playoffs, and it's like NC State. And again, teams like that, the Giants with a wild win in Dallas, a crazy win in Green Bay in this game, it's almost like that an NCAA tournament run, which is very rare in the NFL playoffs. You know?
Yeah, it really is. The Giants are one of the few teams. The Cowboys are probably the only one, the other one. They can stand in. The Patriots, no matter what you want to say, even though they play this offense that is turned into a little bit of the college look at times, they are very, very physical. And the Giants, the Cowboys, two of maybe the only teams that can stand in there and slug it out with them. And so I thought that was huge for the Giants. When just watching that game, that they physically can do everything to the equal of the New England Patriots.
Well, that was like, what I was thinking of. That was kind of, to me, throwback yesterday. That was old-time Giant football. That was, we're just going to beat the heck out of you. We're going to beat the heck out of you and just wear you down. I mean, they just physically beat. They hit them. They hit Brady so hard yesterday. They hit them some shots. They were hitting the ball carriers. They were hitting the Giants were hitting anything that moved yesterday.
They were, and I thought the Giant offensive line had an outstanding day too. By and large, I thought Eli Manning was afforded very good protection for the situations and all that. I don't know if you talked about it too, Mike. And I remember I called you and left you a message just because I wondered at the game, but the fumble.
Well,
why was that not challenged?
They're saying they can't replay the scrum. They don't do a replay on when the ball's down. They replay the fumble, but I guess they don't replay the scrum because they don't know when the whistle blows.
It doesn't matter. When the play is over. If you're on it, you can call it when you're on the ground.
Right.
And you have possession of the ball, and somebody's touching you. The play is over.
Well, the problem is the kid. What he did, Phil, was he had the ball, and then he rolled over on his back and exposed the ball.
Then it got taken away.
And it got taken away. That's exactly what happened.
The play could have been over before that.
Yes,
I'm not saying it would have been overturned. I just didn't understand why it wasn't challenged.
I agree with you. Cautious.
We got to get a clarification. We got someone caller said that they can once the scrum happens like that, they will not review it. Now
I know that is the rule.
Right.
I know the rule very, very well.
Okay, so then what are you going to review?
It has to be when it happens like that. If you can see clearly who has the ball and the play is over, then it's a fumble and a fumble recovery.
Wouldn't you have to hear the whistle?
The whistle? No. The whistle. It doesn't matter. If you're on the ground with possession and touched, the play is over,
right,
regardless of the whistle.
But they're gonna say he wasn't touched till the guy was exposed to the stomach, and then maybe the ball's loose again.
But he was touched on his shoulder.
He was touched.
No, the guy was basically laying on him when he fell on it.
You think they would have given the ball to the Pats?
No, I don't know. No, I think it is close, and since it was called to the Giants, they probably would have had a hard time. But it doesn't matter. I just think it's such a big play.
We thought the same thing, Phil. I think that would have been 7-3 Pats and the Giant 30-yard line.
But I tell you, too, just the whole thing, it really, it truly is the Giants. If you're a Giant fan, and I'm an ex-player, I'll just say this: it's everything they show during the playoffs is what's made so many people proud of the franchise for so many years. And they hired Tom Coughlin because he epitomized what they want their team to be. And I know it's been rough, and I'm not going to say Tom Coughlin has done everything well, but all of his values, and Mike, and I've said this to you many times, they are true, and so much of it came out watching the game on TV, and it was really it was a lot of fun. It was an unbelievable game to watch. And, too, I think about those players and think about the moments, and now they got this forever. And I heard Tom Coughlin say at the game, it will bond them for life because it was such an unbelievable hard journey. As hard as I've ever seen a Super Bowl winner go through.
How about this? How about